Hey guys, so this is part 2 of the bead, of me making the beaded beanie boos. This is how Snowfall turned out. And I know you've seen this one a lot in part 1. There's Flora. This is Flora, this is Snowfall, and I think they look really cute. So I finished this one off camera, but what you do after is, so you put so while it's still on the stand, let me just quickly go get it. So while your bead craft is on this, it's not going to be stuck, like all the beads aren't going to be stuck together. So if it's like this and you peel it off and you just take it off while it's like that, all the beads are just gonna scatter. So that's not what you're gonna do. So you're gonna, so while the beads are on here, just pretend the beads are on here. Put parchment paper over it, and then you iron it. And then when all the beads are like stuck together and none of them fall off, you can carefully take it off the circle and iron it a tiny bit more. And then, but don't iron it too much or it's gonna burn. So just iron it a tiny bit more after you do that. And then you take the parchment paper off of it, and then you put it under something, heavy. So let's say this, like just pretend this is heavy. Put it on top of it so it stays flat. And then after a few minutes, take it off, and you'll end up with your beanie boo. And when you're and back to when you're taking the beads. Just a second. I dropped something. So when you're ironing it with the parchment paper on. So parchment paper has to be on, otherwise the beads will stick to the iron. So like, pretend that this is the parchment paper, my hand. Pretend that this other hand that's in a fist is the iron. You're gonna do it like that. You're gonna iron it. And then you take the parchment paper off. You peel the beads off carefully. And that should be like that. It's still gonna be hot though, like really hot. So make sure you have an adult help you with the ironing. So, and then you're going to put the parchment paper back on to the bead, and then you're going to continue to iron it for a little tiny bit, and then you take the parchment paper off, and then pretend that this is heavy, put it under something heavy. And after like a few minutes, take off the heavy item, and you'll end up with this.